Tokyo, Japan, headquarters of the Australian 3rd Battalion, volunteers in the war against aggression in Korea. These are the men of the Japan Occupation Force, 90% of whom volunteered for active service. There are plenty of tin hats in all sizes. It's still too small, mate. Korea's tough country in which to supply troops, but the Aussies will get theirs by jeep and trailer, a flexible transport system that will beat the worst terrain. Jeeps and plenty of them. There's no too little too late for the Aussies this time. In convoy, they move off along narrow mountain tracks. This is real battle practice in Japan's undulating hills, almost identical with the country they'll have to conquer when they go into action alongside other United Nations troops in southern Korea. Men of the 3rd Battalion, reinforced by volunteers brought from Australia by air, will fight a long way from their homeland. These are typical Anzacs, tough, determined and well-trained. They know they're helping stem the red tide, which could, unchecked, engulf Australia. Through paddy fields and into the steep hills they march in final intensive training, for the war in Korea has proved that the day of the foot slogger is not yet done, and the diggers have a worldwide reputation as infantrymen. Outstanding feature is the way they handle the 3.5-inch American bazooka. Shells like this can stop any tank, and the Aussies prove it. Watch closely and you'll see the rocket in flight. 9-inch nickel steel armor pierced with terrific force. In a war of guerrillas and infiltration, camouflage is important. You wouldn't see these boys if they didn't want you to. The government promised that Australian troops will be sent into action only with the best and most modern equipment. These pictures show they're getting it. Flamethrowers are one way to hot up the Cold War. And in close combat, the bayonet is still a terrifying weapon in the hands of battle-toughened troops. There isn't any doubt that the 1950 Anzacs are a real fighting force. They have the courage, training, and equipment to win new battle honors as they fight alongside the United Nations on the Korean battleground. Swooping in on a rain-sodden Sydney, a Skymaster brings the first 3 Australians wounded in Korea back home. First to leave the plane at Kingsford Smith Airport is 24-year-old W. Johnson of Cooberup, Victoria. Tom Bush, a Victorian farmer. The United Nations war against aggression cost him an eye. Another Victorian, Norman Togg, severely wounded in the legs, is the only stretcher case. A white Russian gives him a bunch of roses in tribute to his sacrifice. Norm can smile now. Australia's proud of you, Norman Togg, and of all the other diggers in Korea who've shown that international crime doesn't pay.